Really looking forward to touching your beard though, man. Will I be one of the first to touch it, or you've had a...
You will be the first to cut my beard other than my wife assisting.
Hey, no pressure whatsoever. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Beardbrand fan? Bob the Barber here, Austin, Texas. And I got my buddy Larry here visiting us from the home of Bluebell Ice Cream, and we're gonna make him look just as sweet as that ice cream is. Mr. Larry.
Yes.
Sitting in my chair, you're getting ready for a big weekend. Your son's getting married.
Yes.
Gotta look better than him. That's my goal today. What do you want to do today?
Well, obviously a haircut and a beard trim. So
how long have you let this grow out? This is pretty spectacular.
Well, the beard's been 40 years, but I've been letting the hair grow out for about 3 months now.
Okay.
So we can change styles or do whatever we want to do with it.
Are you comfortable with the way it looked 3.5 months ago, or do we need to? Do you want to leave it here because you're enjoying it? Do we polish, or are we like starting from scratch?
We can start from scratch. I mean,
awesome.
It's longer than I like it. So
awesome. Yeah, we can totally take it down. What do you typically like if you were just in your old barber's chair?
Typically, it would be just off the ears.
Okay.
So and the beard would be shorter, at least on the sides. And I've been growing the neck hair out, as you can see, which obviously I want taken up. So
yeah, this is what I call a man beard. It grows from your chest into your face. So,
right.
Yeah. How are you liking the length with the beard currently?
Well, I've had a beard for 40 years, so I don't really know life without a beard. So
do you? But in the last, have you trimmed it yourself lately?
Yes.
Okay, so this is
well,
where
not lately. I've let it go for about 90 days. So
awesome. So yeah, it's probably grown a good inch and change. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna shape it right away. Get some of the edges cleaned up, and then we'll decide if we're gonna take off. This much, that much in between. That sounds great. You let the eyebrows grow for 90 days as well. Yes,
if you don't cut those back, my wife will be very upset. So.
Yes, and like I said, I'm trying to make you look better than everybody there today. That's my goal, and let's get to it, man. So 40 years with the beard.
Yes.
Were you an outlier growing out a beard that long ago?
I was an outlier.
Yeah.
Yes. I had a lot of oil on my face, and so that was causing acne. And so the dermatologist told me if I would grow a beard out, it would help with the acne.
Interesting.
And so the hair would absorb the oil.
Were guys styling their beards back then as much as they are now?
Not as much as they were now. I mean, some people did, of course, but I mean, generally you just grew it and you left it alone and you cut the stray hairs off. So now it's a style.
So what's the regimen these days? You baby oil and hair shampoo back in the day. What is changing your regimen? Or are you just like?
No, I use Beardbrand products, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
right?
I was really hoping to say that, but I would have been just as happy if you were saying like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Baby oil and Head and Shoulders.
No, it's been interesting. I mean, Beardbrand, has such good quality products actually, and that's kind of how I found, you guys is through Beardbrand, and I've been using those, I guess since last year. So I guess that's when I finally stumbled across it and was looking at some different types of products to use because most of the waxes were just too thick to really use on a big beard. So.
What kind of hairstyles did you rock back then with the beard?
It was pretty short back then because I worked a lot outdoors in the sun, so I just kept a pretty short haircut and kept the beard fairly trimmed back then. So worked as a pipe fitter. So when you're around a lot of flames, if you're going to wear a beard, it better be short. So keep it out of the fire.
Original length, you're probably looking at about 3 inches here, 3 inch change. Like I said, 04 would be taking it down to just above an inch. So I think we'll, like I said, split the difference. Give a little more length towards the front, get it down a little shorter towards the back. I think for home barbers, the key to like continual success is the way that you pull the comb off of the head. A lot of people, I think they they start doing a lot of movement all around, and then they start chasing a haircut. I'm pulling it straight up 90 degrees. Comb stays nice and flat, parallel to the ground, and then as I start working my way around the head, what I'm doing is following the shape of your head. So my fingers match that. So as I comb around, it's the easiest way to stay consistent and have a nice even haircut. So even if you get a little shorter, a little too long, it'll always look and grow out nicely. So when you found the Beardbrand products, did you you base it on the reviews? You base it on your, just actually feeling it and having it in your beard, or were there a fragrance that won you over?
Well, the one thing that stood out was the uniqueness of the fragrances of Beardbrand. So that was kind of interesting, and that was kind of what attracted me was the Beardbrand community, the Alliance community. So I'm a psychologist. That's what I do as a profession. So growing and being in the process of growing as an individual is the most important thing in my life. The Beardbrand community, spoke up from day one once you get into the Alliance community, and there's so much support there, and so that was what originally attracted me. I'm using Old Money currently, but
can't go wrong with Old Money.
That's a good one. But Temple Smoke also like, and Four Vices, I think it is. Yeah, this is the other one. So I like it as well.
So I'm liking where the length is. What I'm looking for is that you have enough hair to style. It's also short enough that it stays nice and snug to the head, so it feels like it's a buzz cut, maybe just growing out. I'm gonna hit it with a razor because you got some good waves and a couple of little cowlicks that are starting to present themselves now that we're taking off some of that weight, and that'll smooth things out, make it a little easier to style when the day comes. But you've got lovely texture, and I want you to be able to flaunt it. You see that it is actually taking off some hair. And I'm not just combing it for fun. As a psychologist, you probably see a lot of guys grow beards and just grow a little more confident too, right?
Yes.
So there you go, guys.
Self-image is part of self-esteem, right? So it kind of feeds it. It's a good way to raise self-esteem of young people, is to have them look nice, right?
The big reason why I got into barbering was being able to see literally people jump out of my chair feeling better because they looked better. So right now I'm adding just a little bit of water to your beard just to soften it up ever so slightly. So you do like to have a little bit of extra real estate right here on these edges?
Yes, they're uneven right now.
Okay.
Which is, I didn't dare even them up even. So when I curl them, it's noticeably different.
I'll stop combing right under that corner, and then anything else after that is mustache. But yeah, some of these guys come way out here, and I'm curious as to what these guys on this side look like. So I'll look for that corner of the mouth, and that'll be where I do all my mustache work. So as I'm combing it out and I start to see that natural shape that it has, do you want to maintain a lot of that and just shrink it down, or do we want to do something more like this, a little pointier?
More like that, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was more rounded at the bottom.
Okay.
And it's more like a shovel, almost squared off now. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it was just because you let it grow out, or if this was something that you were intentionally working on. But yeah, it's amazing how different your face looks and how the hairstyle looks just by even just squeezing in that. You can see that, I'm looking for square, but he's got that nice flared look, square, and then just by pinching the beard, you can see the difference in face shape. So for starters, I'm gonna just take these really grown out sides. I usually tell my people whenever they're doing their own, stay nice and tucked into the face. Use that top comb to aim for the top of the ear. Pull it out just a little bit. And then once I start seeing the actual shape, then you can start finessing with how you manipulate the comb.
You know, this is how you know you've become a mature person. When the barber starts trimming your ears and your eyebrows without saying anything.
It's you know what's a problem if I spend more time on your ears and eyebrows and not on your hair? It's like, That's about an inch indentation right there. That's about 2 months worth of beard growth. And now that we've established that line, I'm gonna start giving you that sharper shape. I almost feel like this is sacrilegious, taking off so much of this quality.
You're a sculptor, man. Sculpting it out. So we left all that meat there. We're gonna address that separately now. The mustache, when you do trim it, do you take it just above, just on the line, on the pink, a little above the lip? It's usually just right on the line. I don't leave the pink usually, so it's right on the edge.
Right on the edge. I like it.
So do you cut it straight or do you cut a V in the center?
I like to follow the shape of the person's lips. So everyone's lips are just a tad bit different. So if I just follow those natural guides on a person's face, it usually works out. If you want to tweak it after that, that's more of a personal preference. But when I just first dig in, I just let your little guidelines be my, I guess, be the directors of, my trimming. I do, however, so this is just for the initial part of the mustache, and I'll comb it down and dig in that line. But once we get into this good stuff, I usually cut just a little shy of the end of the mouth. That's when I'll start my taper. The corner of your lip is way over here, and I won't trim square all the way there. So there is a little bit of a vein, but not as aggressive. I will look towards the center of your mouth and then follow the shape of where this starts to droop, and that'll be my angle. Even though I cut out quite a bit of real estate, if you were to pull it out this way, you can see how much you still have to work with. And because we cut it in that downward angle, it'll blend into the beard really easily too with a tad bit of product. So these guys that are starting to sprout out right here is probably from the mask. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some product in it, soften them up, and then if they're still sprouting out, we'll chop them off. But otherwise, we're going to let them hang out for a bit, because if I were to chop them off and then leave a big divot, I'd be really bummed. Mustaches are actually more important than most people's beards.
Yeah, even my wife doesn't touch my mustache.
Exactly, like I said, when it comes to the trimming, like the mustaches, that's like such a a stylistic choice, personality, you know, enhancer. It's
Well, and you can't get it back when you make a mistake there. It's like that's like a good year of growth now. That
as I'm doing this, I just remember that you told me that you don't let other people touch your beard, so I just got nervous again. So I like to, since beard oil, I try to put as much onto the skin as possible, about the same amount for most guys, about 3 to 4 drops. Usually the chin area, right here in this thick area, that jawline where the beard really starts to get thick, gets neglected. So let's try to get as much of that oil onto the skin as possible there. And those troubled areas, like that mustache where you saw some of that mask kink, pinch the balm into the hair. Hair is very much like a sponge, so you can force liquids into it. Because your mustache is being a little stubborn, we can go in and throw in a little bit of our styling balm as well. And for a softer taper, I'm going down with the grain of the hair as opposed to up against it, because I'd like it to be a little more natural back here than a really aggressive taper.
So he has a master's in structural engineering. He's incredibly brilliant. One after him is a long, both the long hair and haircut. This is when they made it, it's all back to back.
So he's a fan of Temple Smoke. We're sold out of old money because obviously, so we're gonna hook him up with some 4 Vices. Continue taking care of that beard and that skin. This is all yours. Thank you for your patience.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Great look.
Hey, what's up, Beardbrand fam? Bob the Barber here in headquarters, Austin, Texas, and I got my buddy Andy here who forgot to cut his hair the last year and a half, so we're gonna get him back to it.
Yeah, no, I took all those off. Yeah, all the. So it's a year ago, and I had just a little bit cleaned up on the bottom there, and then what I'm going for is probably about that length, and that's like the natural color, and then on the sides, probably not super tight, so maybe a little shorter than that, but
Yeah.
And you can see all the, this was 2014, how much gray is in there now. Like, I didn't take one before I colored it just because the old dude thing really rattled me.
So before I even dig in, I'm gonna start with go a little orthodox, and we're gonna trim away everything today.
Yeah, the Ernest Borgnine eyebrows really needed a trim there. I've had it long since 2005, and you know, not because I'm ahead of the curve. It's just because I'm lazy, and you know.
A lot of us, yeah. I think I had a mustache for the same reason. It was like, hey, I just leave it there.
And shaving, I just never got good at it. You know, I mean, when I stopped shaving, there were only 2 blades on a razor, not 17 like they have now. So
we're gonna shave one side and then the other. I got a 2.5 guard on here. Pretty standard buzz cut length, and it still looks like intentional and professional and sexy.
yeah, my old roommate used to be my bacon buddy, and then she went vegetarian, then full-on vegan, and I was just like, all right, you know, whatever works for you. She was cool about it, though. You know, it's not like there were protests in my house when I came home from work or anything. So 2005 is when I decided to grow it out. And the reason I decided to grow it out has to do with work. So at the time I was working for a medical products company in New Hampshire, and I didn't want to go on any more business trips. And I said, you know, I'll just grow my beard really long. And they will not send me on any more business trips. Nice long beard, you get to have, you know, Halloween costume is already preordained. You know, you got lumberjack or Viking, you know.
And for me, with this type of beard, it's like you always have to add the word sexy in front of that. So like sexy lumberjack, sexy Viking. Man, I feel for you, man. All that time to grow this hair out and then point nothing to chop it off. So right now I'm tapering your cut down to about a 1.5. We hit it with about a 3 on the top. Transition to about a 2 on the sides, and then and we're just getting a little closer down to the perimeter.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it'll grow out with some shape. So if you do wait in between haircuts again, it'll have some structure.
Not likely waiting that long.
So we'll smooth it out from the front, but I'm looking at the length, and that's kind of where I start to see that density disappear.
Yep.
So once again, looking at that old picture, you know, right there at your chest.
You can go higher than that, like
Really?
by an inch or 2. Yeah. So it's at the length where I have to be careful with power tools. You know, if I I got to tuck it into my shirt. You know. And it's funny, at this length, if you tuck it in your shirt, it looks real nice and well kept. And they're like, what'd you do to your beard? Then I pull it out, I'm like, oh, there's the homeless guy look. Like, yeah, thanks for that.
I'm gonna start there, and then we'll just creep it up. I always do that way more confidently than I probably should when it comes to somebody's beard that they've grown out for this long. What it is, I'm not giving you an option. We're doing
No,
it.
these, what, you're supposed to, trim the roses back on Valentine's Day? Just think of it like that. You just gotta cut them back so it grows
And
back.
it's right about Valentine's Day, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
I was actually kind of surprised that, you know, it was, even though density is gone, the long stuff was pretty healthy. There weren't a lot of split ends. I think because the pandemic and we're not showering and going to work every day, it might have been better for my hair.
And when you were talking about like you not doing much, sometimes less is more. And for me, it's all about balance. You know, you want to make sure that you're not overcooking your stuff too. And that's some guys over groom and create these problem areas that didn't need to exist. They yank out too many hairs. They break them off. It's just you wash it too often that it starts to get brittle. So sometimes just like letting things hang out. That's good too.
I actually saw that online. I was some beard website, and this guy's like, yeah, buy this atomizer off Amazon, and he's got a picture of it, but there's nothing there for scale, So I thought it was about the size, like 300-400 tall. No, it's for salad. It's like 10 inches tall.
You saw the same one at Whole Foods?
And I was just sort of like, oh, that's a lot of beard oil. Okay, but We wound up using it for salad. I did not use it for beard oil.
Yeah, as soon as the roommate went vegan, it's like, oh, I got the perfect thing.
I got the thing
I got to
for
get some
you.
of this
Yeah.
temple smoke smell out of there first, but
Yeah.
how's that link?
That's fine. Yeah, if you want to, clean it up more, just it's gonna grow back. So I love that it's
I love beard growers.
whatever
that
you
attitude.
feel like, because you just gotta, with the weight and where it's gonna lay.
I'm trying to imagine the comments. Because everyone's like, I should have taken it shorter. You should have left more on.
You'll never make it happy.
And in terms of shape, I usually get it, a little bit squarer on the bottom, like more of a bull nose. But with my head shape, I'll leave it up to you, whatever you think looks best.
This was I know that this was a henna job, but were you aware that it would be this orange?
Well, so henna like kind of oxidizes and it'll get darker, and I need to spend a little more time out in the sun, and it'll get a little bit more even. But it's kind of hilarious if you go online and people's first experience of henna, they do it Sunday night before they gotta go to work Monday, and they wind up looking like the Joker, and they're running out to Walgreens or some other 24-hour place trying to get like Just for Men Oops brand and dye their husband's hair again. And I'm like, you just kind of gotta let it do its thing, I don't know how many of your fans do henna, so the processing time,
More like critics.
yeah, is Just for Men. It's like 5-10 minutes in and out. Henna, 3 hours, not uncommon if you want to go really, really red.
So you just gotta schedule out your day for a whole lot of nothing.
It's
So doing it during
a lot of Netflix, and it's like playing Dexter the home game because your whole head's wrapped up in saran wrap, so the stuff doesn't dry.
Your references are amazing.
So, well, Dexter's a ginger, so it works on 2 levels. But
Inca Orange. I mean, you're speaking to my heart, man. It's like Inca Orange from BMW and a little bit of Dexter action. Heck yeah. Hey Andy, I'm gonna since we got some of that shape out, and now we're starting to see it bounce up, and I'm starting to see more of that mask crease. I'm gonna hit it with a heat brush real quick just to straighten it out and get it some and see some more of that true shape and length.
Yeah, some friends of mine were like, "Oh, you should get the hot brush and straighten that out." And I'm like, why would I do that to my beard?
You have the texture that you could do one of those, like you could whip it around and.
And in my 20s, I had a terrible beard. So when young guys are like, "Oh, I wish mine," like, just be patient.
When did the transformation happen? When you
30s, late 20s or 30s.
See,
probably.
some of you guys just need a little bit of patience. It'll come in every once in a while.
The one piece of advice I would give people when how they're growing it out and the sides get all frizzed out and you look like Reverend Jim from Taxi, and I'm like, okay, here's your hot beard tip. Comb that stuff straight up when you get out of the shower so you look even more like Reverend Jim when it's wet. And then you just go back 10 minutes later before you go to work and comb it down, and it'll stay down. They're like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" Like, yeah, I suffered for a lot of years with the flyaway crazy person beard hair on the side.
So this is you see me do this is not surprising. Yeah, your beard feels really nice. So this comb is going right through it. It's just really, once again, just to soften up some of those kinks. I'm not trying to give you a horse's mane.
No, that's.
Yeah, so I'm just tucking away some of this stuff, some of this bulk underneath, but at the same time making sure that it's I don't get rid of it. He likes a little bit of that weighted square shape, so I don't want to give him that super angular shape. And like if he had a shorter beard, I'd be doing the same thing, but just extending it way past that jawline. I want to continue shaping it where it does have some weight at the bottom, and like I said, making it real sharp and angular. That's not the kind of beard that we're looking for today. So
Yeah, and you can trim down the Wolfman cheek line there.
Do you prefer a little bit of a sharper edge or
whatever you think looks best? Because like I said, I'm lazy. You know, Razor hasn't touched this face voluntarily in 20 years, so.
I'm looking for where that main curl starts to form, and then where it starts to lose some of its density. I would imagine it's not as dense right there because you've either eaten a bunch of it or... And you let me know if you want to go even more aggressive.
No, that looks pretty good. You can see that I got teeth. I used to grow it even longer, like down over my lower lip. And I said it was part of my weight loss regimen, you know.
You're so over trying to shove stuff in there, right?
Well, it precludes eating things like ice cream and spaghetti and, you know, anything with any kind of gravy.
Why don't you lean your head back over me real quick? I want to get under that neckline just a little bit closer. And you're pretty thorough with that henna, man. Your chest hair is...
Yep. It runs down, and you're just sort of like, all right, well, whatever. You got orange chest hair, you know, and orange back hair. You know.
That's what makes it look realistic. So, how familiar are you with our products? Like, you watched all my videos. So you're obviously super...
Well, and you know, some others too. You know, not just yours.
Do you have any preference for fragrances or anything? Or
yeah, the citrus is fine. I mean, you know, pine or sandalwood, they're all good. Not so much on like tobacco or other fruity stuff.
Spice citrus is a fantastic way to go.
I got a little bit of a dry skin problem, so I'll get pretty aggressive beard drift. So I'll have to use Head and Shoulders every once in a while to tone that down. But I'm hoping this stuff will keep my skin a little happier.
With him saying that, I think you know what comes next. So we're gonna send you home with some proper beard shampoo. It's a little more gentle on the skin. It's gonna be also gentle on the hair. We're talking about like overdoing it sometimes, and a lot of those products like Head and Shoulders and just like our regular products, grooming products, they tend to skip over like the fact that our face and our beard hair is completely different than the rest of our bodies. So all that 3-in-1 stuff, yeah, out the door, man. We'll.
I totally used the 3-in-1 stuff before I came down here.
So that was a little bit of the beard oil just to get that skin hydrated. You have such a thick beard too that a lot of that moisture evaporates and it doesn't come back. So we'll use that beard oil and then top it off with a nice heaping of our utility balm. Oil for the skin, balm for the hair. Put them together and killer combination. Shampoo and conditioner.
All right.
You can use them minimally.
My homework.
Yes, exactly. You know what videos to watch so you can learn more about them. Mostly mine. Unfortunately, no treasures in here yet.
No, I watched it before I came. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, my beard was long. I'm Daniel Kaufman. I'm a sous chef over at Bob's Steakhouse here in Austin, Texas. And I'm definitely looking to change my style today.
Mr. Thor,
Yes.
talk to me, brother. What are we doing?
All right, so we are going to chop off several inches of this guy. I'm thinking like about an inch from my chin. That's where we're gonna leave it.
Yeah, super corporate, super, this is a corporate Thor.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I do work in a hotel and everything, so no one's ever said anything to me about like, hey, your beard's too long.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, time for a little change in style.
I can dig it. And we were just talking about it right now. Like, you of all people know that you can grow this bad boy like back immediately. So
Yeah.
that's that'll be fun, man. I think it's gonna look really different. Are we doing anything with the hair today?
Yeah, just typical bald fade, like bald. So I think we do like I usually get like half, like towards the top,
Okay.
and then just a little trim.
Little trim off the top.
Yeah.
Nothing really prompted the shaving. It's just it's about that time.
Yeah, you know, with COVID and everything, it was obviously very difficult to get a beard trim at all, basically until you guys opened up, because I didn't really trust anybody else to touch my beard. So, yeah, it's just it needs to be shaped up, needs to be trimmed up. I saw a lot of dudes on Instagram stuff, like, you know, looking pretty good with their shorter beards, and it's like, I want that life. You get more mature, you change up your style a little bit, and you want to present yourself a certain way, and, you know, I want to keep that up. So,
well, that's you know, I talk to a lot of guys that are super committed to their beards. Is that it's hair. It's an accessory. It's something that you can play with and have fun with. And yeah, to see somebody with such a recognizable beard as yours, because I've been cutting your hair. You've been going to the shops that I've been at for a few years now. Mm-hmm. That yeah, this is pretty wild, man. But at the same time, like, I'm glad.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's you got to switch it up every once in a while.
For a beard of this size, and like when you're going through the process of kind of getting it set up, what does that look like?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a little bit more extensive. I run a blow dryer. I run a blow dryer through it, like out of the shower. You know, after I wash and condition it. I don't do that daily. I only do it like 3 times a week, because working in the kitchen. I'm not behind the line that much, but still gets a little nasty from just kitchen air and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, take a blow dryer to it, just get out the dampness, and I'll use a straightening brush, and then beard oil, and usually finish it off with either styling balm or utility balm.
So pretty classic stuff. Nothing.
Yeah.
You're not reinventing the wheel or doing anything.
Oh no, not at all. I don't like a super like edgy look with my beard. Like, I like a more natural look to it. So yeah, it's cool to get like a trim at the barbershop and it looks super fresh like that day. But after that, I kind of just like to let it do its thing, but just keep it nice and tame. Yeah. You know. So
that makes a difference. Yeah. It's like, it should go with your overall like presentation. And yeah, like you said, because we, you know, like, you've been coming into our shops for a long time, and we will sharpen you up, and then after that, you're throwing it out, man.
You know, I am getting older, and unfortunately my hair is thinning out. So with the shorter hair, it's less noticeable, and this way, if I need to, you know, use any sort of products to help with hair growth or making it look a little thicker, like it's more noticeable on the short hair.
Nice.
Most places in Texas can be a little more conservative. You know, Austin's the place to be if you're looking to be a little bit more stylish and edgy. You know,
I like the mix. It's a nice little marriage of edgy and stylish and trendy with a little bit of that like homely, not homey, just kind of
it's still got a small town,
manly look. You know,
yeah,
it's like a balance of Texas country and guns and trucks with, like you said, a little freshness, edge.
Most definitely.
So when you are preparing for a competition like that, for you specifically, what kind of program are you going to have to adhere to just to work on those like areas that you're weak in, the areas that you're strong in? Like, what does that look like?
Well, it's
because it's going to be my first. Tell, but I'm quite the bodybuilder myself. So I know these things. No, I'm just kidding. It's very fascinating though. What's yes?
This is going to be my first competition.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm thinking about, you know, getting a coach just to help me dial in a couple things. You know, it's like
good for you, man.
I'm a pretty knowledgeable dude, but there's obviously stuff I don't know.
So I'm looking for any bulky areas. So a little bit of this hair is coming over where I would have liked it to. So instead of running the clipper straight up against it, this is essentially like just detail work, looking for some of these longer strands and softening them up without taking them all off.
Yeah, That is
Which
cool.
is yeah, just it's like using those toothed shears, the blending shears, or the what do they call it, the blending shears and smashers, as they call them in the UK. Just a little less aggressive version of that. So I'm going with the hair grain as opposed to like against it, because this would take a lot of hair off. I'm just trying to soften up the transition right here. I'm gonna throw a little styling balm in it. My current favorite, some Temple Smoke.
Yeah, always with the gold line.
I saw you walk out of here the other day. What were you taking with you?
Got my little PR box that had the shampoo, the larger size with the
Yeah.
pump. Yeah, I got that. And 4 Vices had some styling balm, a comb, and
I ain't gonna lie.
the sea salt spray, which is my favorite.
Yeah, the that 4 Vices. That's always one of my top choices when it comes to fragrances. I understand why people like Temple Smoke so much now. I get it. And then the comb, man.
I love that comb.
I'm gonna try to collect them all.
Yeah, I still need to get the windbreaker one.
I want to go back into like the archives, see what I'm missing, see if I can start wheeling dealing on the Alliance forum. See, hey, you got that old one? So, what I am going to do is I'm going to shoot for a little bit longer than we had originally talked about, and then we're just going to like massage it up as
Okay. It's easier to take off than put back on.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're a large gentleman, and I wouldn't want to upset you. So.
No, you're fine. I'm harmless.
So, looking at about an inch under your chin. So, right where that like that little indentation from the mask is. So like I said, I'm gonna shoot just a little bit low it so that we have a little something to just to polish and make sure that the face shape is right. So what I'm gonna look for also is I'm gonna decide where lengthwise where I'm gonna dig in, and then I'm also gonna go a little fat on the side so we can start looking at how we would like to taper it up. If you want something a little more heavier, a little square, something that follows your jawline. So I'm just gonna go straight across initially, and then, like I said, we'll start dialing it in.
Perfect, yeah. Something a little less like squared off for sure.
Something that follows the shape of your face,
Yeah.
Once I think it lightens up and I can start to see your actual jawline, you do a really good job of your cheek line, and I'm gonna probably match it up to that. But once again, I think we're gonna start long and work our way up. So,
Adios.
unfortunately, no treasures in here yet.
No, I washed it before I came. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, my beard was long. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Still looks fantastic though.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm very blessed as far as facial hair. It's I got a lot of it. So even if I start losing the top more, like I was talking to Brzezinski about it too. He thinks I should definitely do the bald and bearded once it's like time to go.
You would look amazing. You would look amazing.
I haven't seen my neck in a while.
I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean it up real quick because some of these hairs way down here on the neckline were, I mean, a part of the beard. A lot of the time they'll grow into the beard and they're a little softer, a little shorter than the rest. But nah, man, you've had like proper beard hair from the Adam's apple. That's impressive. And the reason why I'm not asking you to lean your head back or anything is because I want to see what the shape of the beard's going to look like, the way your head is, the orientation of your head every day, as opposed to looking straight up, even though it makes my life a little easier. Keep it pretty uniform. Yeah, when I'm deciding to trim a mustache, I'll decide on length, I'll decide on a little bit of the shape, but then I'll let the client's mouth and growth pattern really decide how aggressive and where to really start making any elevation changes and shape, you know, just the way it's shaped. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna understand what I just said.
I know exactly what you were saying. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of those guys with like really big beards on their motorcycles. Guys, you see it blowing all over the place. I'm like, that's such a cool feeling.
It is.
Because at one point I had a big beard and a motorcycle.
Oh yeah?
I'm not that cool anymore, so yeah.
Everybody settles down.
In these videos I try to like add those little nuggets in, so because they cut them out every single time. So one of these days they're gonna be forced to say like, oh yeah, Bob used to be cool. He had a motorcycle and a cool beard and friends. So I know I've heard Big Chris talk about this, and I know Carlos Costa talked about this, but yeah, we good spot to get this back line figured out is right at your Adam's apple, in and around, depending on the length and shape of things. But yeah, you can almost never go wrong if you just aim for that area. Anything lower and it looks a little full, anything higher and it's a bit exaggerated. So. At this point, I'm just cleaning up some of the edges, running the clipper with the grain of the hair to take off some of those little stragglers. Holy moly, man.
I know. I'm a new man.
I am digging it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm happy. It's cool. I've been able to do pretty much all the things I wanted to do, and now I've just gotta knock out some new goals. So,
Amen.
now I get to do it with a nice fresh beard.
Was this all from?
Wow.
That was the beard that hid under.
That was the neck beard.
Oh, that'd be amazing if that was just chest hair.
Oh, wow. It's funny. It's like, oh, let me tuck that back in. So I'm guessing like this portion of my neck is probably going to be significantly lighter than the rest of it. From having...
Yeah, there's like a little...
That's like a farmer's tan on my neck.
It's like a little ring.
Oh, man.
I wonder how many inches. Like I'm gonna find some of your hair on the floor. I'm gonna measure it and we'll see how actually long it was. We should have just measured that first.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying like what, like 3 inches, maybe 4.
Of stuff that we cut off?
Yeah.
Oh
You think it
no,
was
bro.
longer?
That was like 5 inches.
Yeah. Oh wow. I don't know. I'm bad at eyeing that stuff up.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess just by a quick glance over there. It was like 4.5, 5 inches.
I love it.
You really get in there, man, without even trying now.
I know.
Bam! Right on the money. 5
Huh.
inches.
5? It's great.
Whoa!
It's on my face.
That was just one, and that was like one.
That was one like section.
Yeah, one section of beard.
That's awesome.
Hey, what's up, Beardbrand fam? This is Bob the Barber here at headquarters in Southton, Texas. I got my boy Mac, one of the Beardbrand team, social media guy. He's gonna take care of you guys, and we're gonna give him a hefty chop today. So, Mr. Mac,
Yeah.
what can I do for you today?
We're gonna go real short. I've been growing this out for a while now, but I want to go back to that short length. I just kind of want to refresh. You guys are gonna see it's gonna be real short.
Yeah,
real
that's,
short. That was a photo taken 3 years ago, and
Have you been growing this beard out for 3 years?
so I've been growing it out since like 2015, 2016. And for my sister's wedding, she told me I had to cut it short or I wouldn't be allowed to the wedding. So I cut it real short.
when you're when
And,
you're the one wearing the white dress, you get
Yeah,
to, you get
and
to,
so I continued to like grow it out at different I'd grow it out and keep it a good length for a while, and then I'd be like,
Different
oh, let's
iterations.
go longer. And then once I started here, I was like, I just let it go, and as you can see, it's gone.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be quite the transformation. And on top, I kind of saw the same
Yeah.
same style. I think we
Yes.
might go a little shorter just to have some fun with it.
Why not?
Yeah, let's dig
It
in.
always grows back, try something new.
The haircut that you had in the picture, it looks
Yeah.
like you maybe had like a 1.5.
Yeah, I usually like a one to two, depending on like the time of the year, and keep the top kind of natural as I'm kind of going through what all men go through, and it's thinning out on top.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it as much hair up there as I can, but I've always been a fan like the really shorter sides.
Yeah, we'll take it down a tad bit shorter. We're
let's do
starting
it.
off with a half, and then to make the one look more aggressive, it'll be the same length that you're used to, but we'll just take it up a smidge higher.
Yeah. So I've had this beard, really been growing it since 2015, so about 5 years now, over 5 years now. I took it completely off once in late 2015, but when I moved to Texas back in August of 2019, I decided to just let it grow. And the only trimming I did to it was like dead ends and just kind of maintenance to make it look good. And then once I started a Beardbrand back in October, Eric was like, hey, it looks great. And I was like, yeah, let's just grow it out. And I really haven't done much to it since then. I've trimmed up the dead ends like a few times, but my last cut and trim was back at the beginning of December.
Susceptible to peer pressure, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. I like it. I'm
So-
surprised we're not rocking the mullet right now.
You know,
man.
I wholeheartedly almost considered it at one point, but I was like, only one big change at a time. My girlfriend has no clue I'm even trimming the beard right now,
Ooh,
so
buddy.
rather than show up with
she
this,
not?
she has no clue. She knows I'm getting a
Is
haircut.
she a fan of the
She-
shorter beard?
So she when we started dating, I had that medium length and into this. So she's never seen me completely shaven. She's never seen me with a really short beard. And the plan was originally to go completely off so she could see me clean shaven once. And
I feel like you have like a beard diary.
Yeah.
Because you remember these dates
yes,
so well.
I do, because it's just been such a big. After I graduated college, right? After you close that one chapter of your life, you start
All those milestones start to-
You start in the real world. You got to start paying bills, school loans, car loans, all that stuff. So I started growing my beard probably right around that time because I was like stressed as heck. I was like, oh my God, so much is going on. So she's never seen it short. She told me she doesn't want to see me completely shaven. She likes the beard, so I figured a good compromise would
I'm sure
be-
you're not that hideous under
Yeah,
there.
I hope not. I know. I'd rather not spend Valentine's Day alone tonight. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
All of us, man. All of us. Yeah.
If not, I'll get a whole box of chocolates to myself, I guess. So.
Oh, those Bucky cake balls.
Oh my! I'm excited. She's excited too for those. She kind of knows they're coming. I hinted at it this morning when she left.
If y'all don't know what Bucky's is, man, do your homework. Holy
it's
shit.
amazing.
It's the holy grail of gas stations. I don't care where you're from. We beat you.
Yeah, when I moved down here, we drove down from Ohio, and when we crossed the border into Texas, the first sign was it was like 156 miles to your first Buc-ee's, and I was like, there we go.
That's too far.
It was too far, but we stopped. Like you can't not, especially once you live here. It's like you got to stop. Yeah, so she hasn't seen it gone down this short yet, but I'm more doing it for me because I just want that refresh.
It is a nice feeling, and I'm starting mine, and I don't know which direction I'm going with it, but the journey of growing a beard is always, it's fun.
Yeah. And for me, it was
can
more,
be fun.
It was more or less rather than like shaping this to the style I want. I kind of wanted to like start fresh and experience like, you know, maintenance of a short beard again, and kind of grow with it one more time. Because the option was either trim it like to the perfect shape that I wanted, or just start fresh, and that was a lot more appealing to me.
Yeah, what was it like? I've never grown anything close to that. What was it like starting it shorter and then?
So I mean, it's the amount of maintenance that requires as it gets longer. It's like exponential. You go from like you can get away with not getting up early to like you got to get up and blow dry it, comb it, product it. And for my beard, the one thing I've hated about the length the most is that halfway through the day, and everyone in the office probably noticed this, it just poofs out on the sides because it's just like that. So it's sometimes like during the afternoon, I'll have to go to the bathroom with the comb, grab some styling balm, some utility balm, kind of work it in.
There's strategic.
There's like times of the day.
Well, strategic timing, but there's product in this place that's like placed strategically,
Yeah.
so that if you just need a little bit of like a dollop of something, a little touch.
Yes,
touch of this.
yeah, because we got with beard wash and softener in the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep a bottle of tea tree oil on my desk, so
Yeah.
when it's like really dry, I'm like, oh, I can take care of that. The other thing is I think my beard's close to terminal length at this point in some areas. So my girlfriend was noticing there were like hairs. There were like, you know, the typical beardsman hair when it gets really long and you find them everywhere. She rolled over the other day, there's one on her pillow, and she was like, yeah, no thank you. And I was like, okay, so yeah, sure. So she asked me to like just trim it up, mostly because my hair, like I haven't got a haircut in 3 months now. And I was like, yeah, I'll trim it up, and she has no clue that trimming up meant like trimming
Everything, yeah. It's important to us barbers to do our best to speak y'all's language, but at the same time, like if you as a client aren't digging what we got going on, like don't hesitate, don't stay in that guy's chair, man. Just we don't take offense to it. It's we want the best for you guys too, and I always appreciate when guys like you give me a chance to work on your stuff. It's fun. It's creative for me. I know it's probably scary for you.
It's always, every time you sit in your chair, it's always a little scary because you're, especially like, because we're like chatty now, and then the second you get down like to the beard, everyone goes quiet.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah,
because it's like, I don't want to move, I don't want to say something, and you laugh and you accidentally go.
One of my real good friends, Brandon, he sent me a meme of anytime that you want to sneeze in the barber's chair, and he's like, the guy's like focused so hard on just not moving, but like all the faces behind him are those ugly faces.
What it feels like. You know, my mom went to school to be a hairdresser, and her aunt was a hairdresser, so she always cut her hair as kids. And so like the first time I went to like my barber, he's like, what do you want on top? And I didn't know what to say. Because for like 20 some odd years, I just sat in my aunt's chair and she just did what my mom told her to do, right? So, and then it was like, and so like the first haircut was not what I wanted, but it's because I didn't explain it right. And then he's like, oh, let me fix it. So we fixed it up. I was like, okay, that's better. He's like, yeah, this is what you get. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, learning the language, the jargon, it's regional too, you know.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, just learning whatever you guys were doing up in the north, out in Ohio, down here in Texas. It's literally different languages, the same thing. So I kind of wrapped up the bottom of the taper, the fade. We're using my Wallace Seniors. They're adjustable. I threw on the half guard, the 1 guard, and the 1.5. And now we're working into the transition from like the bottom of the head to the straight up sides and the parietal, kind of like the bend, this little recession right here. When I do as a barber, when I'm cutting these shorter lengths and I see how far the hair sticks out, it's like, okay, I know I need to be careful and not just like mow into this. I would like to finesse it a little bit more, so use different tools such as like a bigger guard, or leave myself some room so I can use my shears. And yeah, so once again, this is the first time I'm cutting max hair, so I like to, I've said it before and I'll say it again, err on the side of caution. So it's, you just work your way up gradually, and at the end, once the haircut's getting closer to being polished, that's what we can do. We work on those little angles and areas that need to come down, and so I like to work quickly in the areas that I'm confident in. I know what skin looks like, I know what a fade looks like, and That's pretty much the same on most heads, and after that, these little transition areas where I like to spend a little more time and focus. But yeah, Mech's got really nice hair.
There's a little more of it, but
kind of finished what we were doing on the sides. Started you at a half, kept it pretty low. Like I said, a little wider on the 1 and 1.5. Now I just want to see what your hair does up top. I know that in that picture it was pretty short.
yeah.
I think the danger in sometimes just like getting everything nice and short on hair like yours, it just looks a little basic.
Yeah.
So you could always have a short haircut. I think adding a good amount of texture.
I say do it. Add some
Yeah,
texture, have
it
some
just
fun
makes
with it.
just a very classic haircut have a little bit more of an edge, a little bit of a more modern take, and gives you some versatility. I call it the intentionally messy look.
Yeah.
Because you can always just put just a small amount of hair product and smooth it out, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Very professional and mature.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're
And in that photo, I was like, I got to get this haircut perfect for the sister's wedding. I was like, it's got to be
yeah,
perfect.
because those pictures are gonna last forever.
I was like, what do you want? And she's like, this. I was like, okay, sounds good.
You're a good brother. Because I want texture, not just like softening up the tips. I'm gonna be like, the angle of my shears is really aggressive.
Did you tell your folks you're trimming the beard?
My mom doesn't know, and my mom has been the biggest opponent to the beard when I first started growing it.
Well, yeah, because you're her baby. She wants to see
yeah,
your
and
face.
so when
she made you.
The last time I got it cut was right before they came for Christmas, right? I got it cut like a week before that. And so it looked really good. It looked clean. It was styled very well, just because it got rid of all that dead stuff. And even her, she's like, oh, it's getting long. And I was like, yeah. And so this time, I'm just not even gonna tell her. I'm just gonna wait till she shows up and I pick her up at the airport. She's gonna be like, what is that?
This looks
They look so good.
Finally. Yeah, my mom and sister are brutal. They're like, oh, you look gross. Like, trim that thing. Like, hey, good to see you. Good to see you too, sis. Yeah, they don't hold back. I gotta love them for that too.
Yeah. I've shaved it off once since I started growing. It was that one time, like in 2015, and she walked around the corner because I was still living at home because I just graduated, and she came up the stairs and she jumped and then started crying. And so I don't think it's gonna be that dramatic for her this time, but I think she'll be a little shocked.
I'm just polishing out this little nape taper. Took it down to skin. Just working my way up. Looking for any of those dark spots in your classic knobby parts of the head. You have a beautiful, average sized head, so nothing weird back here. Cool. So I'm pretty happy with the length, the shape, the texture. Let it rest for a little bit. Let's get into the fun
Good
parts.
stuff.
Good stuff.
Ooh.
So how blind are you? Because can you see what we're working with?
Yes,
right now?
I have my contacts on. I wore contacts for today. Yeah.
So, all right, it makes me a little nervous to get this aggressive with the beautiful beard, luscious beard. Just gonna come through this real quick, make sure. All you guys here at the shop, man, you guys take such good care of your stuff. I don't have to work through it too much. Put some maintenance in your beard, y'all. There's your chin. And if I remember correctly, it was about 2 inches from your jawline. So, yeah, we'll just do this in a couple of rounds, I think.
do it.
And see what it starts to look like. Here we go. Straight down the middle on the side. Let's do it. Sort of a war general type beard. You ever considered that? I know the picture didn't have that, but. I always like to work from like a single side in beard trims like this because it's always fun to see how drastic the change. Look up for me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Open up my adjustable and just use the heel of the clipper to guide me. And since I know we're going to chop off some of this mustache as well, I'm just going to knock that down too. Taper real quick, just to pre-polish.
How you feeling?
I mean, it's nice to have like that. I've always liked the shorter beard. It was always my preference, but that's just like wow, there was a lot there.
Yeah.
You look like Two-Face. Turn to one side, and then turn to the other.
And it's amazing how like same hair texture, same
Yep.
person, just
It's
two
just-
different
it's
lengths makes such
gone.
a difference in
Yeah.
look up from here just a bit, and then yeah, we'll just try to match up these bad boys. This is that quiet part of the haircut that you were talking about. Therapeutic portion. All right, got the bulk down now, so now we'll start to really give it some shape.
Yeah. I look completely different already. I was like, wow, that's me. Holy crap.
I'm telling you, promotion time. So I threw on my 1.5 guard, opened it all the way up, so it's about a 2, and I'm going with the grain, and it's just knocking down some of those guys. Still using the heel of the clipper to just follow your face shape. You have a pretty distinct hairline, so I just try to follow it, and it meshes up nicely with the jawline. That gives the beard a nice full look. I like that. Just following those natural indicators, natural guides. You can always have a little bit of fun, make them more aggressive, keep them lower if you want that chin strap. How you enjoying this haircut, man?
I'm really enjoying it.
I was, yeah. It's like when it's like I always like to ask all the hard-hitting questions when I'm doing the mustache. It's like when the waiters ask how you're enjoying the burger, we're like mid-bite, I'm like, oh, it's good. Mac, when you aren't growing your beard, what are you into?
I'm a huge geek.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, huge geek, huge gaming geek. So I'm a big gamer. And then I got 2 dogs at home that keep us pretty busy. So we
Connect 4 or
like PC and console,
okay.
yeah, geek gaming.
So this is the tricky part. Once we start getting to the polishing phase, we're happy with the length, we're happy with the shape. The beards be completely different from side to side. Cowlicks, where the waves are, where the curls are.
I just wanted to start over without completely starting over. That was my big thing. I was like, I can take a lot off.
Yeah, this is like a proper beard.
Still start over and then kind of get back to that length and have fun with it, and my girlfriend thinks I'm doing this in the summer because she's like, it's cold. It's really not that cold compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah. Bruh, whatever, dude.
I'm in a t-shirt with no jacket. It's not cold.
This might as well be Antarctica.
Wow, that's been a while. I have a neck. I actually have a neck.
All right, just put your head back. Yeah. Do you have any favorite scents?
I'm an old money guy, but
I thought you were about to say Old Spice guy.
I'm an old money guy, but I've been loving that Stone Mason.
Right? It's so good.
I'll probably rock that.
It smells of stone, masculine, fresh.
Especially because there's a good chance I'll probably shower and get even a little more dressed up for Valentine's Day tonight. That I'll probably be putting something else on anyways.
So you're doing this one for you then?
I'm doing this one for me.
Some of that Stone Mason utility balm. Just enough weight to tuck in some of those stragglers and there's that skin that we just exposed.
Yeah.
Did I see you wearing a hat earlier today?
Not today. This past week I've been wearing a hat. But when I don't wear a hat, I'll usually throw some sea salt spray in it just to give that little extra volume and texture for me.
Yeah.
Because it's not all there, so this kind of helps really make it pop.
I'm throwing like a product, like this styling balm on dry hair that's been sea salted. I'm just gonna rake it through really lightly, just keep that volume going. Focus it in the areas that might give me trouble. And that's you in a nutshell.
Looks good.
Hell yeah, man, I'm excited.
I like it.
I got a major case of beard jealousy right now, man.
I work for a railroad company. Been there going on 10 years, going to close to 10 years this January. Working outside, it gets, if it's like 117 heat, or what it feels like, it's like probably like 120 on my face. It's pretty crazy.
So I'm just like gut feeling already. If you're just like, since it is hot and you want it a little lower maintenance, let's pull in those sides nice and tight.
Alrighty.
The 2 is gonna take off a ton of this length, but since you've got some length up here too, it's like length equals weight, weight equals easy to manage essentially.
Okay.
Especially up top, you throw a little bit of something on it, it'll stay flat.
Cool.
Let's leave it pretty like high contrast, like almost like a Viking, you know, bun, pull it back, but like short sides, pretty aggressive. And then we'll talk about that amazing beard when we get there. That's
Sure.
That mustache. Holy shit. That's,
Yeah, it's everywhere.
it's incredible, man.
Tacos are hard.
So, since we're gonna just like chop some down, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 76ers. It's like an Oster Titan. It's a rotary clipper. This thing is it's meant for this kind of work. Just blasting through tons of hair.
It's not like shear sheeps and stuff.
That's exactly. Yeah, this is like the human version, the human trial version of. Yeah, this is quite a bit of growth. Like, when did you stop cutting it?
I guess the moment I signed up for this contest thing.
Really? Yeah.
I read like everything on there, and it's like, don't cut your hair, and I was like, oh, I can do that. I've done it before, but
Yeah, this is a big
Usually
fucking
in-
transformation, man.
usually in the winter.
You cut your hair in the winter and that's it.
Well, like I'll cut it in the summer. I'll keep it short during the summer, but in the winter I just like, because it's cold.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you the Mexi mullet, which is what I'm rocking currently,
Okay.
and then we will proceed to giving you a proper haircut. Have you ever requested a mullet? Have you ever rocked a mullet?
No, not into the mullet stuff.
Oh
as
man,
much.
well you're gonna have one, and I think you'll have your mind changed.
Okay.
You might just have me stop where I'm at. Back in Eagle Pass, yeah. Piedras negras.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say yes or no. No, not today. It's the halfway Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
So you guys have been like running and gunning through this whole lockdown and everything. You guys never taken a day off.
It slowed down.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to work at home for about 2 months. Had to go work in San Antonio since it got so slow. But once it picked up, it's been pretty good. A lot of my buddies got to come back, so that's good.
Yeah, working with homies is always fun. I miss it myself, and that might be changing soon. Wink, wink. Yeah, so did you find yourself getting into anything else other than work stuff? Did you pick up any new hobbies? You said you had a 12-year-old, so.
Yeah. Well, she lives with her mom in Galveston.
Word.
But hobbies, I guess cooking is kind of a hobby that I have. Just try to follow recipes, see if I can make them look as good as they do.
Yeah, that's actually a really good motivation. Did you nail that? Pinterest nail it on any of them?
No.
We got some work to do.
Yeah, still got more practice.
Yeah, I feel you. Any particular type of cuisine or?
Just kind of, I try to do everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. I'm not really stuck to a certain type. Something, if I see it and it looks interesting, I'll try it. If I can get the ingredients back in Eagle Pass, it's kind of hard to get stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine some of the stuff that you're probably dabbling in is exotic, like pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Off the beaten path. What do you? Anything that you're proud of though?
I don't know. Pizza. Been trying to get into pizza
Really?
from
So
scratch.
making your own dough and.
Yeah.
Have you mastered the?
The dough stuff?
No, I was gonna say
Oh.
just like tossing it.
No, I have not.
Did you try though?
I tried, but
Yeah, I think,
it was not successful. Not yet. Still need more practice. I've done it so many times, so it's like,
Have you ever had like super long hair? Like.
not super long, but probably a little longer than what I had it.
Yeah, with as much as it's grown since the last time you saved, that's I believe it. I'll grab my wall senior, the 1.5 guard, open all the way up to about that 2 that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, my buddy Big Chris just let me borrow this one since mine finally took a issue, man. So the since you were talking about like a 2 fade, I'm giving you what I would like if I was doing a skin fade, I would go up to certain points. I
Okay.
do the same thing with all the guards, but since we're going like a 2 right now, we're keeping it pretty low to mid fade, and then we'll start walking it up towards the crown. But yeah, just getting it tighter down by the perimeter. And I'll fade it out to even closer, so you'll have a nice taper. But like I said, since I like to see what your neckline looks like, see what the shape of your head starts to reveal, and see how tight I want to go on things. 'Cause I want it to grow out nicely, and then make sure that you have an easy time with it. Because if it's like something that looks really good just walking out, that's awesome. But then it's
Once it gets longer.
garbage to deal with later. And since we had that 1.5 open to 2, instead of just keeping this like real tight to your skin, I'm just dragging those teeth into that next level of hair, that next length. So what's the story on the beard, man? Obviously, they don't require you to have any
No.
PPE situation
No, not-
out there on the training.
Yeah, because we're
training right?
outside and we're pretty far apart to begin with. But I've cut it a bunch. I've cut it and grown it a few times already, like completely off.
Yeah, this
This
is
is probably like the 3rd time I grow it out.
Is this the longest it's been?
I think the 2nd time I grew it out is a little longer.
This is it's a fantastic beard, man.
Thank you.
I think I'm in the process of growing mine out again. Yeah.
It takes patience.
It takes patience, and then with the whole mask thing, I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of effort for
Yeah.
not that much reward. However, taking off the mask and the big reveal,
Yeah. You're like,
that's pretty gangster. Oh, good old South Texas. Speaking of Texas, show the crowd, show the YouTube followers, show the people who are gonna watch this video those incredible tattoos you got, man.
Texas.
Yeah. So
And then
you got the good
Blue
old
bonnet.
Blue bonnet. Hell yeah, man. That's great. What's the story between these guys right here? 'Cause look at the grain on that, man. It's awesome.
it's my grandfather was a carpenter.
Yeah.
So just got them for him.
I've got my 3 guard, and we're just gonna, like I said, just keep on working up to a little ridge on the side of your head. I'll dial that in with the clipper over comb.
Oh, okay.
So I want to see what length we end up on, and I don't want quite a disconnect. I still want you to have some options, like if you wanted to part it or have it a little looser, that
Okay.
it would work with you. But I think we're gonna keep some length up there, man.
Cool.
Yeah, this is nice, man. Like having as I comb through it, like it stays in place. Like it's nice and healthy.
I thought it was not healthy.
You might benefit from some like moisturizing, you know,
Okay.
and it's not like something that you have to do. Sometimes it's like if you do less.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of those guys. I got curly hair, so like over shampooing, and I know that your job is really dirty and like sweaty and all that. But if you just got like a conditioner and use it as a shampoo, that actually is.
Okay.
Definitely want to have like a quality shampoo that it's going to work and not mess your head up. However, just following it up with a little conditioner or just using that alone,
Okay.
it'll
Cool.
make quite the difference. I can tell that it's healthy because there's no breakage. So as I comb through your hair, what I'm looking for is to see if there's any frays.
Okay.
Since you haven't cut it at all, like if I put some texture in it, you might do that, but that's also for like styling and then just like a little bit of making the hair light. But since you haven't cut it in so long, this hair should be the length of the hair.
Yeah.
And if you have a bunch of frays, that's just a sign of breakage. And because I don't see that as much as you might have thought, then that's a really good sign.
Go.
Want to take any guesses?
Me?
Yeah, you.
4 inches. I'm looking through a screen. It's not helpful.
So you're cheating. It's going to be 5 1/4. Ugh. It's like 5 1/2.
Hey, at least you're not over. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if I was doing the prices right now, I would have still been in like fair game.
Yep.
So what I'm doing now is I'm combing through it and I'm seeing where those hairs start to bounce off, where the density starts to lighten up. I'm trying to take note of where I might take that off. So some of those short hairs right there are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So there's some just like differences in hair lengths. So I think I'm gonna take it off like 1.5 inches right off the bat, and then we'll see about dialing it in.
That'll work.
Yeah, because I want there to be some length. Usually, like long hair, most guys will be about 3 inches. So 4 inches, like Brando was saying, is still considered pretty long. What haircut did you have before this?
It was kind of like where it's at right now, where you comb it over to, I guess, to my right. It was like super short. I just had like a little bit on the top, and that was kind of it.
So I want to leave a lot of that weight up front
Okay.
and tuck it in nice and tight over here in the back of your head, so you don't have to worry about it going too crazy. So low maintenance. So just trying to tie in all those little corners. Double check real quick. What's your regimen on the beard here?
I'll wash it. I mean, I wash it, clean it up every day, but I'll use like, I don't know, I use product probably like every other day or every 3 days.
It's kind of been like a nice happy medium. Yeah, it's different occupations, different situations, different chemistry, like.
Just afraid to like dry it out too much or whatever.
Yeah, if you're paying attention, like you can usually combat that. You know, it's you don't want to overdo it because that's not good either. You know, play with it until it feels good, it feels right.
Last bike I had was an R6.
Yeah.
And that was like the first thing I brought when I was like 19. Should have bought a truck or something, you know, sensible. Nope, bought a bike.
Yeah, I'll borrow a friend's truck if I need to carry something
Yeah.
heavy.
Groceries, whatever I can fit in my backpack.
Minimal effort, you
Yeah,
side
just
party
come-
real
yeah.
classic, or let that
Pretty much
that freak flag wave with
the first one. That's kind of like usually how I just.
I like options, man.
Yeah.
So you can slick it back, like I said, just like
Yeah.
a good old.
That works too.
Viejito with the or Viking.
The
But,
Viking.
you got a little bit of wave to your hair. So you're thinking about half
Yeah.
half of the length. Like 7, 8 inches.
Yeah, I guess like where your thumb's at. That's about half, isn't it? I can't tell.
Yeah. Like 3.5, right about there. I'm gonna go just a little bit longer.
Okay.
And see how it shrinks up. Without that extra weight, and it might bounce up a little bit, and I don't want to make it too much of a dramatic change if it doesn't need to be.
Okay.
Because I mean, half is pretty wild already. I'm gonna go straight out on this first one, and then we'll start to dial in the shape if we need to. Now, how much time have you put into this beard?
A little over 2 years.
Yeah. That's amazing. The ends of your hair have been on your face and a part of your body for 2 years. That's wild. That's why it's really important to take care of those things as soon as you start considering growing them. So yeah, right there, 3.5. Did you ever get competitive when you were riding the motocross stuff?
No, it was pretty hard where we're from.
You had to make a drive out everywhere.
And you gotta have some backup money to fix bikes.
Oh
and
yeah,
all that
it's an
stuff.
expensive hobby, man. So just use the heel of the clipper to kind of baseline on your face, and then just follow that natural shape of the beard's got. Man, I got a major case of beard jealousy right now, man. Yeah, as soon as I got to a spot out in West Texas where they did allow beards, I was like, hell yeah, we're doing this. That was beard 1.0 for me. How's it looking, man?
I like it.
I do too. I think having a little bit more meat on the sides just gives you that opportunity to, like I said, I like variation. I like being able to have some options. But also, if you were to just add a little bit of product to a little bit of love, you could still tuck it in. And that's half of the length of it, man. Damn. What I'm gonna do next is, since you have so much beard, I'm gonna take a hot towel, soften it up, make sure that we open up that hair to receive some like nice moisture from the balm. Okay. Do you have any favorite fragrances from us?
I have I think it's Tree Ranger.
Oh hell yeah, that's I'm all about well, I got a few, man. I love the
I have that, and then I have that Old Money, the shampoo and the conditioner.
Can't go wrong with it, man. I really like Stonemason and Four Vices, and then True Ranger. If I had to,
I'm gonna try the Stonemason.
You can throw that in, man.
Sure.
Got plenty of it. So anyway, I want to reverse fade it out. Go from that side of your head into the side burn. I'm looking for the density where it goes from, you start to see hairs popping up, and then where it gets thick, and I just start pulling off the clipper right as I get into that, so I don't create too much of a sharp edge. It's still very defined. So what I'm looking for at this point is where I did a lot of the work, and now I'm just gonna tuck those guys in. A little Tree Ranger sea salt spray.
You put it back under control.
It looks fantastic. Get ready for some of those head nods from the other bearded men.
Yep. great, lighter, a lot lighter, fresh. I came in here with somewhat of an open mind, at least to try to do something different than what I normally do, and very, very happy with what came out.
Awesome.
Something new. And thank you guys for having me.
Thinking about like major transformation, or like we just kind of trimming it?
I mean, if you're up for a transformation, I am. I just decided to let it go. I've always wanted a little bit longer haircut, and I knew I wanted to come to Bob and try to get a new look for myself. So I grew my beard out as long as I could stand, and I got my hair as long as I could without getting fired or reprimanded, and I think it's time for a change.
How long has it been since your last haircut, sir?
A little over 5 months. So it was right at the end of March when I got my last haircut.
What was the original cut?
Just the
That classique.
4 or 5 on the side, a little longer on the top, and then you go.
Just a little bit of that.
End of the day.
And this beard, same thing. Just like let it ride.
Yeah, I've been making my own beard oil for a little while, and then
damn it.
I bought some of the.
Definitely
Beardbrand.
not as good as ours.
Well, but I got the shampoo and then the softener, which
hell yeah.
when your beard is this coarse, it's almost like
You need all the help you can get.
you need everything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into it, man. So what I'm looking for is like how much weight on the sides and how much length up top is like the overall shape. So you can see right here, a lot of that hair still goes all the way down to the ear. So that helps me establish like what length we might bring it down to. Oh my goodness gracious.
Is that me again? Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get you closer to this than that.
Yeah, I looked at that this morning and I was like, man, he's got hair that goes from the top to his ear. I don't have that yet.
That, and the other thing is that like you're not in the chair very often, so if it's already that long, you're gonna get back to a spot where you're just like, oh my god, this is a lot of hair. The fact that it curls up like this.
So what's the health of my hair look like after basically doing nothing to it for 5 months?
So when I got back to cutting after the lockdown, and we were wearing gloves, trying to be extra careful, I couldn't feel people's hair. And one of the things that I do as a barber is, as I'm combing through hair, people are just like, oh, why is he just combing it and just playing with it? I'm looking at things like how it falls, how it bounces back up. I'm looking for the little sprouties that are a lot shorter. Since you haven't cut it in so long, you should not have any evidence of like fraying, you know? So as I'm combing it, I'm just kind of like scanning for that stuff. And as I run my hands through your hair, I'm just feeling the texture. So right now, yes, it is lovely. Yeah, it feels very smooth. It feels very plump. It's got some elasticity to it. You know, I'm running all the way down to the bottom. You can feel it like it'll get glassy or a little brittle at the ends on some people. And the fact that yours doesn't do it as much, and that all the hairs are very similar length, like you do that and they're all about the same length right here, that's usually a good sign that your hair is healthy. So cut off a lot of that weight up top right away, just got rid of some of the bulk, and now I'm seeing where it's starting to fall. And I want it to have like a dramatic overhang. I want it to be longer, so when you push it back, it blends out like this, where it's not just like a little sprouty up front. We'll add some texture to it to lighten it up a bit, because it's still, I mean, it's been half a year of hair growth, you know? So I've established some length here. It's nice and long, like in a lot of those pics. It's got some weight. You can see it's a lot shorter than the rest of them. So we're gonna use this as our guide and then go into the rest of the cut here on the side.
So I got a hair question for you.
Absolutely.
Why is my hair so curly in the back? Is it just because it's what gets brushed the least, or is it like my hair literally grows different there?
It is the texture of your hair is wavy. What happens is that a lot of this hair will yank, the weight of it will yank it out a little bit. So some of those waves, it's not so wavy that it's going to be rigid and strong enough to like pull up all the curls. Like mine is like wavy from the root to the tip.
Yeah.
Yours is because there's less stress on these guys, they'll start to wave up on their own. Yeah, it's just your hair texture, and it can change over time, like with just your environment and your age and your bones getting brittle. So taking off a lot of the bulk, I want to see how this is lying. Since your head is not shaped like Jake Gyllenhaal or your face, yeah, we'll just dial it in now. Start like softening up the edges. Really get it dialed in. Happy with the length up top.
Looks amazing.
As I clean up around these edges, I'm gonna tuck these in a little bit. Now that I see some of these curls coming out, I wanna finesse them a little bit more without being too aggressive. Like how some of this hair still like combs back, but it's off of your ears. Any shorter, it's gonna start to spring up. And I'm worried about that too, because trying to consider all the things that you mentioned earlier. You wanna be able to push it back without like effort and like enough length to still maintain some weight, but without having to put a ton of product and effort.
You know how old I am? I listen to NPR when I get in the car. Like people, if like a valet jumped in my car, it'd be like,
dude, he'd be so bummed.
He'd be like, oh yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah, this guy's definitely not gonna tip me.
Look, whoa. I'll give him.
Maybe it's because he's an adult. He's gonna tip me.
I'll give him a free tote bag for my pledge drive.
Hey, which way do you typically comb your hair?
Which way do I dress? Yeah, I don't really know. It's literally been pushed back for so long, I kind of lost.
Well, with that cowlick that you have, it's getting a lot of volume coming to the right, which is pretty typical for most guys. Just like the flow of hair with y'all's our cowlicks and whirls and things. So.
Yeah, I'm right-handed. Makes sense.
I don't think it has to do with anything like that, but.
Wait, are you telling me that cowlicks have like a distinct direction?
There's a whirl, right? Everyone's got a whirl. Some people have two, and that second one is usually the cowlick.
Are you telling me that like most people's cowlicks goes counterclockwise versus clockwise?
It goes clockwise. Most people's, if you come and check out his right here. So his is right in the middle. It goes in this direction. You can see it starts right there. It goes like this. So yes, majority of people's whirls is like usually right here, shifted left to right, a little higher, a little lower, but it goes in this direction. That's why you can comb, most guys will comb their hair to the right.
Wait, did I tell you that you were the first person, when I got a haircut from you, that was the first time I ever got my eyebrows trimmed?
You're welcome.
What? They've grown like crazy ever since, so conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, that's how I keep you coming back, man.
You got any crazy thoughts?
So what I'm looking for is how low this, it's really light here, it starts getting dense at the bottom.
Yeah.
Very, like a low hanging beard as opposed to getting like really, mine grows out from my eyeballs and it grows out, you know.
I know,
so.
which is lucky.
But trying to consider that, so I don't want to cut it so short that the darkest part is only this little section right here. I want to see how much it comes off of the face right here, because I want it to have a nice shape, a nice balance to it. I don't want to just trim it up because it'll look good, but I want it to look greatish.
Great-ish. Yeah, I always assumed that the top line would fill in, but after like doing nothing to it for 5 months and having started with something, I was like, oh no. It'll be thin until something happens. You have a very tough beard texture to research. I'm like, wiry men's beard, and then you get some like real weirdos.
Yeah, that's they can get tricky because some of your hairs were like really long, some of them are a lot shorter. They kink up, some of them break off. It grows from a lower part of your cheek. So yeah, just taking all that into consideration is gonna just help you get the best looking beard, the easiest to maintain as well. Because yeah, it's one thing to put in all the effort to straighten it out and do all these crazy looking things to make it look great as you're walking out, but then a couple days later you wash through it, it starts growing out. You know, I like to consider what it's gonna look like in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I had looked at beard straightener just kind of out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, like anyone selling products gonna make it look good, but I couldn't think about spending that much time straightening my beard
every day.
Like you're kind of like forcing it to do something. I want it to be a little more authentic.
Authentic to Brady. So I'm gonna put some moisture in it now that I got some of the weight off. and comb through it a little bit easier.
You like this curl outwards? I'm fighting that all the time.
So
it looks really funny.
Some heat, a round brush, a little effort would definitely work that out for you. It doesn't help that that's probably exactly where the mask goes to, just accentuates all the worst parts of our beards. But like you said, so that's why I was trying to like pull it out and see where some of that thickness was, and do more of a shaping as opposed to just like assuming that if I just cut it at this length, it's gonna like behave properly. So.
I'm pretty good at maintenance, but I've just had issue with trying to get the shape right. I mean, shaping your beard can be a little tough.
When you're gonna clean this up, and instead of just taking a clipper and following the shape of your face, which would cut all that beard off, and then just give you really long front, elongate your head, which is not necessarily, you're an architect, man, having like balanced proportions is gonna be the more appealing to the eye. Following the shape of this plane of the face, I feel like is a much smarter thing to do.
Cool.
So the way that you would do that and maintain it at your own home is standard comb, even something a little wider like a flat top comb, combing straight to the top of your ear, or that nub. I'm talking about this top tooth right here. That's your pivot point, and you're gonna just comb out, and then you just go straight down, and then start lowering it down till the beard is like this. Because like I said, if you just got a comb, like a guard on your beard, and just followed it, all these would go away, and it would just like tuck in straight to your jawline, and make your face look a lot sharper, and not necessarily in a good way either.
Yeah, I've done that before, so.
So that plane, you can find that plane, like if you have something with a guard or not a guard, I'm putting this heel, I mean this clipper is running and I'm not gonna cut any of that beard off. I'm using the heel of the clipper and I'm following the shape of the face to come straight down. I'm not like letting it pitch and follow the shape of the face with the teeth. So that's what I was talking about, that plane that I'm imagining. It's like right here from this sideburn area, and I just let that thing run straight down. So this is on your skin, but it's not actually cutting anything because I'm not leading with the teeth.
Yeah.
And that's another way you can create that fuller shape with confidence. Like with some longer mustaches, you can comb them up, put your fingers on them, and then I usually, same thing, following the shape of the mouth, shape of the mustache, I'll align my fingers instead of just like straight across, I'll comb it out in the direction and the shape of the lips. So this is the angle that your lips are coming, and then I'll just tap these guys like this. That way, same thing, if you wanted some extra length on this chop portion of your mustache, because I'm just following the shape away from your face, it gives it a little bit of length, so it has some taper to it, and then you can push it back into the beard. If I was real close to the face, I'm chopping it a lot more aggressively, and that gives you a lot less to play with.
Someone had told me once that plastic combs weren't great for combing out your beard.
So there is a lot of truth to that. A lot of combs are made in molds, and they're squished together, and they're injected, so they have a little bit of a sharp edge in that little meeting spot where they connect. What word am I looking for? I don't know. The joint, thank you. So like more expensive combs, higher quality combs, are going to be manufactured in a way that's a lot more gentle on hair, because what happens is as you're combing through hair, that sharp edge from the joint on a cheaper comb, plastics typically, is going to cut through your hair.
That's what
or it's going to fray it, or it's going to be very aggressive on it. So a nicer $11 comb like this YS Park. Somebody asked me the model the other day. This is a 339. So there you go. But like the combs that Beardbrand makes, same thing. They're made out of an acetate that has a nice round, soft edge to where the plastic is jointed, and then it's polished out. So as you're combing through, it's like smoothing out the hair as opposed to being super aggressive and like.
So I was using a really cheap like I got it at maybe Picture Day in like 1994. It's just like been in my bag ever since. So I was using one of those for a while, and then Someone had told me that, and I switched to a wooden comb.
Yes, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's wooden combs have softer edges, so they're going to be a lot less aggressive on hair, especially already brittle, weak beard hair.
Whoa! This is a strong. This is strong beard.
This is
hair.
a strong beard. Yeah, this is a pirate. This is a Captain Morgan beard. Since your hair's a little dry already, you don't want to re-drench it. I like to pick up the hair and then just kind of spritz towards the roots of the hair, because we're going to work it out eventually when we start combing through it again.
I had a question, like how much, with a beard this length and like my beard style, how much oil is too much? Because
That's a great question. So for a beard of this length or longer, I usually tell guys about 4 to 5 drops. The thing is,
I was using like 8 or 9, but that was when it was at like full.
So here's the thing.
Full size.
If you're only using beard oil tends to evaporate, and then you're gonna feel parched. Your beard's gonna feel parched at the end of the day. So adding a little bit more might be actually a good thing. But if you're using like a quality oil with, and then following it up with a balm, in conjunction, you can use a lot less of them, and they're going to do different things for you. So a beard oil is going to drench your skin, give it a lot of nutrients that it needs to like produce the hair, keep your skin nice and healthy. And it's going to coat some of the hair, but the utility balm is going to protect the hair and keep it moisture for the long portion of the day. So
I was really surprised when I read that oil only lasted for like 4 hours maybe.
Think of it as a sprinter. It's going to get on your skin, it's going to take care of the business, it's going to do its job right away. Then the balm is going to stick around a little bit longer and kind of infuse. It's got a little bit of a wax in it, so it's going to cool off in cooler temperatures, and then it's going to warm up when you go outside. Some of that body temperature, it's going to reinfuse into the hair, re-moisturize. When you're loading up your oil, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's really, you can get away with a lot of.
Yeah, I was always surprised when I would come home at lunch and my beard would look so different than when I left the house that morning. And I'd kind of run some more through it, but like I couldn't believe how much my beard had changed over just a couple-hour period.
So when you apply it, make sure when you're applying the oil especially, make sure you're getting it down to the skin. So I like to run my fingers through the hair, pull it through. So if I only had beard oil, I can really do a good job of it on that first go. Then, with a nice product like some beard balm, same thing. You only need the back of your thumb to get about a pea-sized amount. Emulsify. So I love this stuff because it turns into a liquid really quickly. That's a good indicator that your body warmth is going to keep it nice and moist. The same thing, just really want to work it in there. And because it's got some of the heavier properties to it, it's going to tame some of those stragglers and give it a better shape throughout the day. So.
Fantastic. I feel like they took a pound of hair off.
Now you said something about mullet. Did you want to keep the mullet? Because you already got a great one going on right now, man.
Chop it off.
Hey, what's going on, Beardbrand fan? Bob the Barber here in the Beardbrand Barbershop in Austin, Texas. And I got my boy Jeff here, and we're gonna sharpen him up like a pencil. What are we doing for you today, sir?
Just sharpening up the beard and getting a different hairstyle as well.
Yeah, man, you've been growing it out a little while. What's how much is this?
Don't know. Probably like 9 months of not.
Was I the last one to cut your hair?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been longer than then. Yeah. So it's gotten pretty thick on the sides here. It's pretty long. I know you're growing it. We're gonna keep a lot of this length, I'm thinking, but we'll definitely tailor it towards the back, and then we're gonna bring this in quite a bit. Really shrink up your head, take some of the focus off of these wispies back here. You know, make the front and top a hero.
Yeah.
And as far as the beard goes, sounds like you were wanting to maintain a lot of the length. I'll comb it out really nicely, and we'll see where the density starts to drop off, and we'll take it up there, maintain a lot of the length, but same thing, I'm gonna really kind of attack some of this stuff on the edges, sharpen it up, really give you some structure, focus on the shape of your face, and make this beard a hero again, because right now...
It looks like Amish.
Which is not a bad thing. Those guys have great beards, by the way. You guys have awesome beards. Try to game plan of what I want to attack first, and those sides look juicy. I want to just lop them off.
Been using a lot of hair growing products as well.
We're a big fan of Peeps. That's great, man. I know it's been an issue for a little while on you, and it's working in the areas that already got a ton of
hair.
Yeah. Let's just get some of this bulk off. Start seeing those shapes reveal themselves. How do you normally style it these days? Like,
just part it on the left side.
So you can see already, just a quick little cleanup on the sides, some structures. Start to see that head shape reveal itself. It's already looking a ton better. And if you're wondering how I decide about how much to take off, I usually, when I dig in this first comb section, I'm usually looking at the shape of his forehead and then how far his ear comes out. And that's usually most people that I cut, a really good indicator for where those natural markers are. So now I've got a 2 guard open all the way up to a 2.5. Little insider secret, he showed me a picture of a haircut that he liked, so I'm gonna try to recreate that, and it did have a little bit of length. It wasn't like a full blasted out fade, any crazy. It's a very conservative taper, which is really nice. I think it's a very mature look, but once with a little bit of texture and a little bit of rough edge, it's really handsome. So with the hair products, how's that working out for you, man? You see some results? You see everything's working out all right?
I've been seeing some results.
It's not a regrowing product, but what you got already on the move, you're gonna be able to maintain and keep nice and thick. It does really encourage the stuff that you already got going on beautifully, like to come in nice and thick as well. So it's guys that I've seen use that product, I've seen a lot of success in that crown area especially. It seems to be one of the first areas to show signs of weakness, as I call it, a little bit of thinning. But yeah, if you can catch it early enough, you're gonna have a much better chance of keeping what you got. So it's good stuff. So when I come into your hairline, this perimeter right here, I'm gonna keep the trimmer a little further away as to not make a really sharp looking edge. I think that's gonna be too much of a contrast for more texture, kind of like loose looking taper that we're gonna work with. So what I'm noticing is he's got some different coloration in his hair color. Like down here it's really dark, it gets a little lighter here. So to make it look a little more even, what I like to do is get a bit more aggressive on some of those areas to lighten it up so that it disperses the color a bit. Just makes it a little bit smoother. Got some weak spots up here at the top. We're gonna try to maintain a lot of that length, give you something to work with. But we're gonna make it nice and structured. Yeah, that length up front I think is gonna be your friend. It reaches all the way to the back of your head right now. Like I said,
that's cool.
We'll create a guy that maintains a lot of that. But we'll just...
There's still some baby hairs up here too.
You know, and that's it's a sign if you're using the products that you're using. You know, it keeps in those kinds of things. It helps like thicken those up as opposed to you know, allow them to turn into baby hair. As people start to lose their hair, it starts to get really fine, like baby hair. And you know, using a product like Keeps will help it maintain some of that thickness. Very front of your head. This is the longest portion of your hair. I'm gonna look for some of the shorter spots, and that's where I'm gonna cut in. That's gonna be the longest part of your haircut now. And then I'm just gonna start angling my fingers. When I decide what my guide's gonna be, I start to bend my fingers and comb towards this like sloping portion of the head. Take up all this bulk. Like I said, I want to maintain a lot of that weight, so instead of getting it real close, so now back here, that hair won't fall over the side, but there's still tons of it. So now you've got this like more like flowy look. So now I have a little bit of a guide, and any of this stuff in the middle I can just take off pretty confidently, just to help round out that shape. So now that ledge is a lot more gone, but it's a lot softer now. But he's got that dark hair compared to light hair, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to see some of that original hairline. Probably getting a little bit of that regrowth, but this stuff is way out of sync. Looking for those natural markers. You already have like a bit of a thickness and density elsewhere. So all this like widow's peak stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and remove because it's bringing you know, attention to an area that you don't need it. So I use my comb to, what I look for is like, as I comb the hair back, I start to see where that thickness starts to happen again, and I'll come back and I'll just remove some of those stragglers. Down here, just more of a softening up of the hair and some of the edges. And I'm staying towards the end of the hair as it feeds into the comb, and then in this area right here where I want to be a little more aggressive, I stick that shear way further into the strands of hair. I am going to get a section and pull up about half. And because your hair is pretty long and wispy, I'm just gonna cut out these bigger chunks a little bit further down. And what those will do is that they'll prop up some of the hair as well. You have it's long hair, and long hair means weight. And hey, what's going on, bud? The shorter hairs will help camouflage some of the weak spots by standing up and propping up the hair that's a little bit longer and weighing the haircut down. I want the hair to hang off a little bit, because if we were to just tuck it away, it wouldn't be a problem. The thing is that I feel like you, with the picture that you're showing me, there's a little bit of this hangover, so I gotta take that into consideration. Like, not only the way, because I can hide all that stuff by just smashing your hair back, cool, but you're gonna hate me when you get back home and you got this little puff exposed because you want to wear your hair like the picture and you can't. Get these browns. Don't have to use this very often, but comes in handy when you need it. This is a 7-inch comb. There's your chin right there. Damn, Baba is right. So yeah, it's stretched out. It's about 7, and then the rest of it, like I said, is probably closer to your 8. When you take care of your beard, when you style it for the day, are you shaping it, you know, kind of to a point, straight down? Do you like a little bit of a bell shape? What's the preference?
I just brush it down a little bit.
Just kind of classic.
And then put the beard products in.
For sure.
The utility balm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to take the clipper and chop off a quick inch, and then one thing that a lot of home groomers do is that they brush it all out and then just chop it down. So that's why you see like this like really straight line. If you want to give your face a little bit more of a sharper angle, give it that structure that I've been talking about this whole time, is you want to follow the shape of your face. So if we were talking about that, here's where the guide is, and this is where your jawline is. You take off a lot of this. Instead, most guys, like I said, they just come straight down and then just chop, which is totally cool. But once again, pro tips.
No, it's a good connection. It was a great spot. Let's have this on the streets, man. Certainly have a 10K entry. And the reason when like I'm watching that's yeah. Like that speaks like, man, if you I would be a millionaire. All I had to do was skip 5 million. A lot shorter in person, right?
Hey, that's why we have Chloe recording me today, because she makes me look like, yeah, you know, at the end of my videos when Chloe records, yeah, I look like Big Chris, so they're gonna start calling me Big Bob. Not Bathroom Bob, Big Bob. I was called that twice this week, and it's only Tuesday. This mustache, you've got quite a bit of length on the edges here. Do you do stuff with it, or is it that just kind of like, it's hard to trim, so you just let it get long?
I tried to do handbar mustaches.
Yeah, okay, so you, a little bit of length is good, okay. So with that said, I'll make sure I tuck it out of the way when I clean this stuff over the lip.
Yeah, those areas are very bad. For like eating pasta and stuff. So.
Yeah, did you say eating pasta?
I was gunning for that. How much did you read up on the post on this?
Just a few saw a quick deadline, maybe I got to that.
Basically, this guy just kill his chances.
Jesse, what kind of nicknames do you have?
Jesse the Kid, which I gave him. It's even in his profile.
I hate that you guys call me really cool guy Jesse. You know, I don't really know how you guys really cool guy Jesse. I just hope that name doesn't stick.
Yeah, in the comments, man, y'all need to quit. That's a really cool guy, Jesse.
Cool guy Jesse, yeah.
Are you gonna have T-shirts made?
Calling me that, man.
I do braid it out sometimes too.
That is awesome. You do willy braids on your beard. Oh man, I try to get everybody to do willy braids. And if y'all don't know what willy braids are, y'all better look it up. You're familiar with our fragrances. Is there anything that you want to try out?
About the spice something.
You want to try the spice citrus? Mm-hmm. That's pretty natural. So yeah, man, we'll start off with a little bit of our beard oil, since a couple of good keeping drops. Our focus is the skin with the oil, so I like to load it up on the fingertips and really try to get it down to those dry areas, those areas around the corners of your mouth, right here at the jawline, and just drag it through the hair. Nice coating. Follow it up with a nice little helping of our. So you got a pretty long beard. We'll go nice and heavy on the utility balm. Really try to get a full coverage. You got quite the thickness down here, so I don't want to just focus all my efforts on the top and front of the beard. Mustache.
It's like 20-some acres. Not in this area.
Piece de resistance. We've got some of our spice citrus styling balm, and that's probably a lot for the amount of hair that you have. So, trick is not about how much you have, it's about how you apply it. I like to emulsify the hell out of it until it's almost clear, and I know you're blind, so I'll get it nice and close. As the product starts to dry, it starts to get pretty tacky. Since we're going for a little looser, more texturized look, I like to get into the roots, even the short stuff on the sides, I like to push it up because when I come back and bring it down, it's going to be a little chunkier. And the same thing with the stuff up top. I like to make sure that I get a nice coverage of product at the roots. Drag it through. Part of the reason why it's more important to apply product a little drier for your texture of hair, the amount of hair that you have, is that if it's a little too wet, the hair starts to cling together and it starts to reveal a lot of the weak spots. So for a thicker, drier finish, you want to apply the product a little lighter, build it up, because we have enough product in here that'll hold it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the product's going to do its job at this point. Now we just got to get it in its proper place. I like to use the thicker side of the comb, the whiter teeth, or just your fingers. So on the sides, we're just going to bat the hair around. And a classic way to comb the hair would be kind of straight down or a little slicked back. Once again, we're going for that rougher, kind of edgier, soft part. So I'm going to push the hair a tad bit forward. Use your fingers, don't be afraid to push hair around, tuck it in, yank it out. Those are all like very penis-y types of references. So now when you're starting your hair, don't be afraid to use your fingers to chunk up pieces, to pinch them together, move them around, and yank back on them so that the hair gets a little bit of chunkiness and some volume. Once again, a little bit of volume, a little bit of separation from your head and the hair, make it look a little thicker. It's mashed up right against it, it's going to start to reveal some of the stuff that we don't want to reveal necessarily. So. Get you some of our chili balm. Good for the beard. Since you got so much of it, that's gonna treat you really well. Send you home with some of our styling. And just because you've got such light hair, we'll throw in the sea salt spray. Have you tried this stuff before? Yeah, man, easy to use. Shake it up. It's got kaolinite clay in it, very fine, helps give your hair some volume, some grit, some texture. A couple of pumps, boom, you're good to go. That's some good stuff right there. Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you letting me tear you up.
Mr. Daniel M.
Yes, sir.
What are we doing for you today?
There's been a couple of things that I've been doing that I kind of want to continue with. So right now I got like the modern mullet, I guess you could say. So I like that. I had it going a lot, but I let my fiance do a little trim on me when this first started, so it kind of got a little messed up. Yeah. Or just the classic right here, number 9.
Yeah, like a drop fade.
Yeah,
classic.
exactly. Yep.
Do you want to go back to the original kind of like
if you can do
mullet?
it, yeah.
Can I do it?
Definitely, please.
I mean, I can do it. I don't know if I can do it well.
Well, and then for the beard, I think it'll pair well with maybe the Winfield, something like that.
Do you want to maintain the chops on the side and everything?
Yeah, so it's either this one, and I'll let you choose. I trust you, or the friendly mutton chop.
Oh, ooh.
So
yeah, you need to give them the shot of those two options and
friendly mutton chop.
Yeah, and then go to the
Winfield.
The Winfield.
Damn it, man.
Okay. This is what we're gonna do. We're going to do this one first.
Okay.
And if you completely hate it, then we'll do the other one.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Let me just take a photograph with my memory.
Got it?
Dude, that's dope. I like it.
I heard you got a motorcycle.
I did, yeah. So I was gonna say I might have motorcycle hair and beard.
Well, here's the thing: is that with the motorcycle, you're gonna cover this.
So no one's gonna see it.
Yeah. Okay.
So even if you do mess it up.
And the beard's the same thing. Like, if it looks terrible, just I wear a mask inside my car. I wear a mask.
I just wear my helmet in my car, in the restaurant, everywhere.
In bed. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, what'd you pick up?
I got a 2016 Panigale, Ducati Panigale 959. White, that white pearl color. I got her like Tuesday of last week, so it's been barely over a week.
Man, I bet you've been putting some miles on that thing.
I tried to, and then the rain, and then I don't ride in the rain. Man, I'm scared.
Come on.
So I rode it today for the first time for like over 5 miles, and it was amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Man. Just to give it a nice solid trim, nothing too crazy, short, and then yeah, it's been growing out since then, and I still haven't gotten a haircut. Anybody?
Are you gonna do it yourself again, or are you gonna let?
Hell no, man. I like sitting in the chair.
Yeah. It's relaxing.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because doing your own hair, it's exhausting, man. Your arms are over your head. It's.
How many mirrors do you use? Like 7?
I wish. No, I did it in here with the one big one. So
wow.
I was rolling the dice, but everybody else was going to be locked up and not giving a whole bunch of crap about it. So
yeah,
I wasn't worried about it.
Are you a big sports fan?
No, I'm not.
No? Okay, so you don't mind all of this right now?
Anybody, like, I could care less. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's like, no, I'm a big rugby fan. I love my San Antonio Spurs.
Woo! That's what I like to hear.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So this is more of a tribute to the team, the black and silver. Then yeah, it's gonna be really interesting how each of these leagues and divisions all get back to it, man.
Yeah.
I do not envy any of those guys that has to put the plan together.
No, not at all. And I was hoping, I mean, I love basketball, I love all sports, but I was hoping that they wouldn't do anything. That way the Spurs can keep their streak of making it to the playoffs for the past 20 years. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Just stop. Don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it. It's not looking good. How are you feeling about this length up here?
You can take off as much. I just want to be able to push it back a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be like slick back, but just a little bit. Because I usually do.
Yeah, you probably have, I'm going to guess, 4 inches. Watch this. 4.5. Yeah, we used to stunt, man. Just do silly stuff on motorcycles, and it's funny because all those guys, we've all grown up and have kids and real jobs, and they all ride Ducatis now. All of them.
What did you used to have?
I used to have a Ninja 636.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That one, no, this was the era. This is like a 2003 or 4,
okay.
and so they were still pretty traditional.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a torquey, so you could do those wheelies like with no problem.
Yeah.
And had the crash cage and brakes and dented in tank and just God, like I see you guys now and I'm like, slow down. Just like be careful. So are you from the area? You
Originally I was born in San Antonio.
Boo.
Then when I was about 9, I moved over to Georgia. My dad got a job out there. Lived there till 18, 19. Then I joined the military from there.
Word.
And then after that, military, went up to Virginia for a couple years. And then over to Japan for a couple years. So that was pretty cool. I was on a ship out there.
So I'm assuming the Navy.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. And I'm just taking off these last little bit dead ends and some of that old hair.
Yeah, all that scruff back there.
We're gonna leave a lot of the scruff, but we're gonna just make it
fancy.
Quality scruff.
We'll do like little 3 and 4 day trips when we have like a Memorial Day. Not too long ago, we were supposed to go to North Carolina with a couple of my buddies and their girlfriends and stuff, and just going to check out the scenery and go to Asheville, which they have a lot of different breweries and stuff there. We're big into beer. But of course, everything happened and all flights got canceled and all that kind of stuff.
You know, it's such a bummer, man. It's like so many industries, so many little corners of the world are gonna be affected by this. It's once again, just like wherever I can support, I'm gonna support.
Yeah. Yeah, so we still plan to go out there eventually,
That's
but
cool.
just go visit the different breweries.
Do you have like a particular style of beer that you prefer?
Bud Light.
It's like going all the way to. I hear that their formula there's a little difference. So I just wanted to give it a round.
No, I like stouts and porters and stuff.
Oh Jesus!
I like the dark
Christ.
beer.
What about this stuff right now? It's like 1,000 degrees outside.
Yeah, so I don't do them now.
Okay.
But even still, if I'm sitting inside, I can do like one porter, like a breakfast stout or something.
Yeah.
Left-hand milk
oatmeal,
stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I can do like one, and then I'll have to switch.
Yeah, with your texture of hair, if you cut it too short, it's really rigid.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll sprout. So length equals weight,
Mm-hmm.
and weight equals manageability. So yeah, it's one of the things that once you cut it, you always have to cut it, or you have to just kind of commit to like letting it grow out a bit.
Yeah, that awkward stage.
Yeah.
Been there, yeah.
We'll find that balance point. We'll find that middle ground.
Yeah, when I was little, I would just shave it off. It would just be like a buzz cut at once. When it would grow out, I'd look like a porcupine. My hair would just stick out in every direction.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it does.
Let's dig this out. Let's go straight for the middle.
I do have a little bald spot right here, so I don't know if
Okay.
that's gonna affect anything, but like right in that area right there.
That is good to be aware of. I think with the style of trim that we're gonna do right now, it should not be too much of a problem.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do it, man. All right, this is the fun stuff. All right. No regrets.
Oh, you can see my cool scar probably now too.
You know what? Scar is legit. What inspired you to maybe try this style?
I've done it once, the mutton chop. So I usually do No Shave November.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had prostate cancer, so I started doing that not too long ago, and I would try different things for like Halloween, different outfits. So I would shave my beard to whatever costume I was going to.
Hell yeah.
And then I would usually sometimes work up to it. So I would come in with a full beard on like the 20th, and then the 25th I would just have like a mustache, or I would shave off.
There's that word again.
I would shave off something. I would have like chin strap, or I would do something. I would just always work up to the no shave, where I would just shave it all off on Halloween.
And then start from scratch.
And then, yeah.
I love it, man.
So
how's your pops doing these days?
he's good.
awesome.
It's all cleared up and everything. Got it removed. So
Fantastic. Shout out to Pops. Yeah, it's not a look that you see very often these days. It's usually like a goof or a...
yeah. So it's crazy because I had like the long hair, and then I had the mutton chops, and it looked like I was a trucker because I was wearing trucker hats and stuff. So yeah.
Ain't no shame.
One of my buddies who was growing out his beard too, he just recently cut it. He did the Tony Stark. So he has like little, and he told me that I should do the Wolverine, the Hugh Jackman.
This is pretty close, man.
Yeah, it's my favorite character anyway, so I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, with mutton chops, you really can't go wrong with any version of, you know? It's like...
Yeah, it was like the mutton chops and the friendly mutton chops. There's like 2 or 3 different versions.
The friendly mutton chops. Because otherwise they're Not very nice. I'm just checking the spacing and just like the balance, because you attack it not like a regular beard. You know, it's like jawline, and the guys who rocked this first, like I wonder what Instagram inspiration they had. Yeah, it's
on the picture I had, it says a little wordage about who rocked it and stuff like that, but I can't remember now.
Oh, all kinds of dudes from the 1800s.
Yeah.
Have we done a post on Mutton Chops yet? Mullets and goatees. Yeah.
This might inspire one.
Absolutely. How are you liking this version so far? Compared to the other picture that we saw.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah. I think it'll work.
I'm just admiring it. It's like so good. So the story goes is that when people started rocking goatees, that it was rebellious because it was inspired by the devil and like Pan and all that. So I wonder if the guys who rocked this, they shaved off their goatee completely just to show that, not today, Satan. Not today. You gonna put in any miles on the bike this weekend?
Thinking about it, I'm actually headed a little further south after this.
Are you guys in San Antonio currently?
No. We live in Round Rock.
That's right.
My dad's from San Antonio. I'm gonna go meet my dad and brother down off of like William Cannon for lunch. So
nice. Please don't go down I-35.
It's either that or Mopac, or I can take back roads. But
yeah, you got a motorcycle now, man.
Yeah, but stop signs and lights and all this, especially with the sun out right now, if you're not moving, it gets pretty hot.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Since your mustache kind of curls under, it's a little harder to hit with the trimmer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where those paper scissors are gonna come real handy. I think we're using some old money.
Cool.
Yeah, you can afford a Ducati. Yeah. You got all of that. All that extra change.
It's the only kind of money I got now is in my hair.
Some of this styling balm. For you, we could probably get away with
A little extra.
Yeah. Dude, like a. Okay. I'm just wondering, you're gonna pull off the helmet. You want it to be able to. That's another nice thing about this product is that, when I used to ride and we were using like old school grease or like super hard holding stuff, you take off your helmet and then you're like, oh, I gotta find a sink or a hose or something to try to get it back. This stuff is like pliable enough that you can just run your hands through it, do a little shake. Vidal says thing.
Yeah, the balm is awesome that you can do both the beard and the hair with it.
You can put it on your hands. You can put it on your elbows. You can put it on your feet.
Yeah, ashy elbows. Here you go.
Yeah. I got that good stuff. I usually wipe mine off on my chest here, so it's nice and
so it's really,
nice,
really
shiny,
poking out. Yeah.
shiny chest hair.
Leave a little extra, another button down on your shirt.
It's weird. I'm not used to it yet. I don't know what to do.
Perfect moment.
You probably can adjust this to go out a little bit further, so it's but even still, it's like how many fingers I put on there. It's like it's crazy. So I usually leave the key in there. But you're out of the neighborhood. Yeah, maybe play it on the safe side. Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
That was fun. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you. Be safe out there. All right.
Of all the things you guys could be doing, you decided to watch this video all the way through. I just want to let you know, I deeply appreciate it. Thank you.